Hey, what's up? What's up? This is Steven Barry coming at ya finally with a new computer. I wish I can show it to you guys, but it's pretty crazy. I got the best of the best. I didn't get the best of the best, but I was very close because the stock, everything was completely different than I wanted from the websites. And then I finally found it after I already bought this one, so it's kind of confusing. But I got the computer. It was the second best processor. Everything else top notch, cooler, liquid cooler, everything. Everything is like smooth with this program, Streamlabs, and yeah, I am very impressed. So I am happy, and you guys can see the hopefully the quality of how better this is in comparison. So yeah, so that's it. That's it. So I'm going to be doing a lot this year, and I'm definitely going to be right now. Even now, I'm testing to make sure everything's good because I made sure I monitored it. So yeah, we're gonna see if everything works and the B-roll's there, and yeah. So let's get this party started. The scandal. And let's see. We can do screen share, see if that works. Looks like we are actually, of course, we're not good because you have to go here. So, yeah, there we go. There we are. There we are. All right. Yeah, there we are. Perfect. So now I'm even monitoring my sound on the other side, seeing how the live comes. So I see everything, guys. I see everything. And let's go to Instagram, see if that works. Hopefully it does. Let's see. Let's see if Instagram works, guys. I have to go to Instagram here. See if that works. Yep, looks like it works. It looks like it's there. So yeah, we are good to go. So alleged. We're gonna go to the screen share now. It's already there. All right. So the alleged Nagano Tanaka Kim love triangle timeline and evidence. So this is everything you need to know, guys. Everything you need to know about this. Now, I'm going to be using my iPad to read this because my computer screen is way too big to fit on this desk. So I decided to be a little bit more flexible. On April 23rd, 2025, Weekly Shuken Busen published a two-part scoop claiming actress Mei Nagano, 25, was secretly seeing married actor Kei Tanaka, 40, while also dating Korean actor Kim Moo-jun. The report cited three pieces of evidence: a selfie from October 2024, a mirror photo Nagano herself took showing her holding hands with Tanaka, a Halloween photo of them playfully leaning together. Nagano agency later said friends joined them, and candid images on April 19th, 2025, of Tanaka leaving Nagano's apartment building after a late night outing. According to Bunshun, Kim visited Nagano's home as her caster co-star on other occasions, and shortly after Kim returned to Korea, Tanaka alleged joined Nagano at a bar and then her apartment, where her purportedly stayed overnight. So where he purportedly stayed overnight. The implication was a double affair or love triangle. So that was the assumption, the let's say approach, the direction Shuken Busen was going, and I'm going to talk more about Shuken Busen as a entity later. You're going to see. So let me switch back to make sure you guys see this. It looks like it's good. Yes, yes. Let me go a little bit further. All right. So, yeah, agencies echoed this. Tanaka agency stressed he had never been involved in any scandals with women and outings with Nagano, where she friendly it acknowledged their agency had known he went drinking with friends, including Nagano, but had no reason to suspect another improper. Still, agency apologized to Tanaka's wife and urged him to exercise restraint, re recognizing that even innocent behavior can lead to misunderstandings. Of course, this is a classic tale of agencies like Sukin Bushin with the actors getting into trouble because people or agencies like Shukin Bushin are going to post anything that may precede any type of inappropriate or perceived inappropriate behavior. So if I'm going to continue, but if something seems off or a little bit sus, sure, I get it, but I like to confirm. I like to see them having confirmation, evidence, and even if they did have evidence, I don't know if it's necessary to really, report certain private things about the actors, right? It's their private lives, right? But these tabloids always tend to do the same thing, right? Just to get a quick buck. And I'm going to talk about more about Shukin Bushin. And I'm going to read a little bit more so you guys can understand what their, I guess, truth rating is in a sense. So let's continue. Yeah. So just echo. So Naga's agency likewise flatly denied any romance. Kei Tanaka and Kim Moo-jun are simply close seniors / colleagues, and there is no truth to any romantic involvement. It did caution Nagano to be mindful of her actions. Hugging friends could be misread, of course, but reaffirmed that Tanaka and Kim were not boyfriends. Finally, Kim's agency told press the two are just close colleagues from filming. Nothing on dinner. Nagano's mother even attended. In sum, all official statements reputed the affair's claims. So that is how it is so far. And yeah, so continuing, make sure I got this right too, because I think she can lose. Looks like that's it, probably somewhere around here. Yes, I want to make sure I got all that right. So after this, we're going to talk more about Shukin Bushin. Okay. Key contradictions and doubts. The evidence in the scoop is largely photographic and circumstantial. Notably, the October selfie was taken on Nagano's own phone and apparently shared publicly. Hardly a clandestine snapshot. The Halloween image, Nagano in costume with Tanaka and friends, was from a public event. So, as from a public event, let's see. Stupid Siri. This Siri's trying to come up again. Okay. Yeah. So public events. That's Nagano could not have been simultaneously with both men, right? So the explanation is truly the timeline undermines a true triangle according to the report. Kim left Japan for Korea before Tanaka even visited Nagano's apartment. Thus, Nagano could not have been simultaneously with both men. Experts observe that describing it as a love triangle is misleading is if involvement were sequential. So, moreover, none of the published photos definitely showed romance. They show two actors friendly in social situations, hand holding, hugging, and parties can be controversial, can be misleading. Um, yeah, I agree with that. Context, which is the agency urge, is incorrect. Tanaka's own words, she took care of me. All right. Portray a sober interpretation, he was drunk, she helped him home. Sounds like a plot to me. I don't know. I don't know. With no private communication or admissions, the case rests on paparazzi's interpretation. Fans and analysts have pointed out that Nagano's agency stressed the lack of dating facts and framed any concerns as a misunderstanding, suggesting the tabloid may have spun normal camaraderie into scandal. In short, the tabloid's narrative hidden affair clashes with the participants' account just friendship. So that is the first part. And the second part of this, I want to really dive into a little bit more of Shukin Bushin's record of reporting. How accurate are they really? Like seriously. How accurate is Shukin Busin? I don't know. I mean, I say personally, 50-50. So Shukin Busin reporting track record to gauge Bushin's credibility, it helps to review its past. The weekly has a history of both major scoops and serious misreports. It is Japan's best-selling news weekly, around 420,000 copies, and is known for aggressive and confrontational journalism. Under editor Manbu Shintai, Shukin Bushin's has exposed high-profile scandals like this one, as you can see. High-profile scandals mainstream media avoided. For example, in 2016, it harpooned economy minister Akira Amuri over bribery allegations, forcing his resignation. The same year, Bushin revealed an LPD lawyer's extramarital affair and Yumuri's giant players' illegal gambling. In 2021, it leaked an outrageous Tokyo Olympics memo, the Olympic proposal, from official documents defying legal orders to suppress the story. Such exposes Nick or the Bushin cannot have made the magazine a must-read, and the closest Japan has to confrontational tabloid reporting seen overseas. Let me pause there because Korea has had some issues in the entertainment industry with Shukin Bushins. I believe it was a group member from Kiss of Life, maybe, or I think it was Kiss of Life. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was her. I could be wrong. Either her or maybe someone from the Sarah firm. One of those two, I think. Or maybe it was Elette. But I feel like it was a slightly older group. Anyway, it was some Shukin Busen tabloid stuff coming to Korea about this one of the singers, the idol females, the girl idol, I guess dating or rumors of dating or something's going on. They even posted a fake picture. I'm not sure if it was Shukin Busen that posted it, but I know that it was circulating online as kind of an edited picture that was edited from another picture, and she had the same kind of shirt on, the same post. So the people who really dig deep, the netizens, they basically found out that it was fake because they realized they kind of put the two pictures together for poses. So one post was next to the boyfriend, the other post was next to like someone else or a friend, and they kind of blended together for Photoshop. And I'm not sure if this was Shukin Busen's doing or if it was some random netizen that was just making up stuff. for their own maybe journalism or fake journalism. You get my point. So there's a lot of fake stuff going around. So be careful, guys. Do not take everything for granted. For to face value, and make sure you do your own research. Keep reading the comments. You might find something that you might be surprised about of how truthful these stories can be. So continuing, even if broke, notorious, tough stories like naming the 4 teenage killers in the 1989 Junko Fudo murder case, information normally kept secret. In some, Bushin has a record of uncovering real wrongdoing, something where other outlets fear to tread. So that's one thing I will give Shuken Bushin, that they're not afraid of backlash from either the netizens or even the government at some points. They are the real deal journalists. But their trustworthiness is probably about 50-50. If it's about a politician, I might listen to them a little bit more. If it's about someone in the entertainment industry that is sleeping together or something like that, I'm not sure if I will even, if I wouldn't care that much. It's good entertainment, but I'm not sure if I'm going to stop watching a drama just because someone had a 3-way affair or something like that, or a triangle. I mean, yeah, maybe I'll lose some respect depending on what the story is, but I try to kind of separate, separate stories, separate the actor, separate the music, separate the artist from the art, right? That's how I see it. And yeah, so they've published, however, continuing, they've published. Bushin has also published false or unverified claims that led to retractions and lawsuits. Of course, that happened. Its track record includes several notable errors. In 2004, the Supreme Court held Shuken Bushin Bungushiji Ltd. liable for defaming archaeologist Mitsui Kagawa. Bushin had run multiple articles accusing him of fabricating Stone Age artifacts. After Tagawa's suicide in protest, the court ordered the publisher to pay damages of 85,000 yen and print an apology. So yeah, that's the I guess the judge, the authorities, the judgment. That's interesting, and so let's see what else happened. Likely, courts have forced apologies in other cases. Archaeologist Kisho Kurokawa won a $6 million yen judgment against Bushin for a false article in 2004. In entertainment, Bushin's 2010 claim that AKB48 idols had illicit affairs was ruled defamatory in 2013. That would have been a big case for sure. I would love to cover that. But yeah, and also attack the article for making things up or, not verifying facts, right? Costing the magazine damages. So the magazine had damages, all right? So it's not like Shuken Bushin didn't pay for their stuff. They definitely did. So it just shows how bold they really are. And it's almost respectable, but some things I don't respect in a sense where the journalists don't verify things. The magazine just goes, hey, just publish it. It's a good article. It's a good headline. Let's go. They've been doing this since 80s, I think. There was another incident where there was a girl who was caught smoking, some idol girl, and she got in trouble. I'm not sure if she lost her career over it. I think she may have, but I don't remember the details of what her name was. I think it was the 80s somewhere. So Shuken Bushin has a long history of really stalking idols and making up things or making things to a bigger deal than they actually are. And so, yeah. More recently, Bushin's Nakai Snap scandal is instructive in late 2024. It alleged a TV executive was involved in sexual misconduct. By January 2025, Bushin admitted its December 26 article was inaccurate. The woman had been invited by Masahiro Nakai himself, not by the official. It issued a correction only after a public outcry, which is still, to me, would be like defamation, right? It will be still in that category. Yeah, they retracted it, but after the damage. So I think um, Masahiro or maybe Nakai SMAP scandal, uh, those guys can definitely go after Shukin Busen because that did hurt their career. If he lost jobs over it, he's definitely able to prove that. And it's really hard to do cases and lawsuits based on defamation. But if you can prove it with paper, denial because of something very specific, like we lost this job because of this. This happened right after this, and it was maybe it could be one job or it could be multiple jobs. So it happened to Johnny Depp. It was an obvious thing, right? So many Asian actors deal with this, and it's just a very normal thing. Tabloids are every celebrity's worst nightmare, right? Or politicians, especially. Even though politicians still seem to get away with everything sometimes, especially in Asia, in both Asia and the West. So it depends on the tabloid, and most tabloids in the West usually work for the same people. Nobody really goes after like certain parties, depending on whatever's mainstream. They usually are on their side most of the time. There's no real journalism anymore over in the West as much as maybe in Asia, or I again, even Shukin Busen in Asia are a dime a dozen, right? It's not a dime a dozen, actually. It's the opposite. It's the only one in dozen, right? So there's not that many tabloids like Shukin Busen, which is why I give them some credit. And yeah, so I'm gonna continue this. So let's see. Japan's editors publicly criticized Bushin for handling the case. For example, the Japan Times noted Bushin awaited a month and only apologized after the scandal. Sorry, after external pressure. A Sankai Shimbun editorial blasts Bushin for violating reports ethics by delaying the correction. So, a summary, all right? Trust and criticism. In Japan, Shukin Bushin is seen as a double-edged sword. It fills the watchdog role mainstream outlet after often avoid. Many politicians and executives take its scoop seriously, but it is also viewed as a so many takes their scoop seriously, but it's also viewed as a tabloid prone to sensationalism. So sensationalism, the isms. So yeah, I agree with that. Shuken Bushin is kind of like a double-edged sword. You know, that's kind of how I've always seen them since I've heard about them. I'm sure they've done some good things, right? I don't think they're just lying all the time, making up things. They definitely will say like, "Oh, Mei and Tanaka went in a room together with the Korean actress, and we have no idea what happened there or what happened." You know what happened? I don't know what happened. I'm just reporting. I'm just telling you what happened. You can are they having an affair? Or, well, you know that's the and then they just use that as a title, just so we can actually assume that, perceive that possibility, and then the actresses all get in trouble. They could lose sponsorships. They could lose deals. Crazy things can happen. Their careers could be over just from suggesting the possibility of having an affair, a three-way affair, a triangle affair, not even a normal one, a really freaky one. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's too bad. Again, this is when journalistic tabloids lose their integrity and credibility when stories like this happen, especially when it comes to celebrity stories. So I believe that Shuken Busen will keep probably going. They'll keep thriving. And let me finish this up. Let's see, editorial collections and slow. Which feels skepticism. Yeah. So yeah. But also, it is viewed as a type of media analysts cause Bushin's style can blur facts and gossip. When it errs, the fallout is public. Bushin has been taken to task in courts and criticized in editorials. Its corrections are sometimes slow, which fuels skepticism. So that's the issue. They're slow to correct, right? Because they want that money. They're about the fast money, right? And then the consequences, they like, it will just come later. We'll pay the fines. We'll make an apology later. We'll pay so if the fines outweigh the actual revenue, then yeah, Shukin Bushin's in trouble. But the revenue has to outweigh the fines and whatever lawsuits they have to pay and the apologies and the reputation. All that has to come into play when it comes to making profits. It's kind of like when companies do bad things and they take shortcuts and they get sued by the FDA in America or something. They pay a fine and they like, well, we made billions of dollars from this. We paid like what, $1 million fine. It's nothing. Sometimes it's a billion. Maybe they made 10 billion in revenue, right? And they made like 5 billion or maybe 3 billion in profit, and they paid like $1 billion worth in fines. And most fines are like maybe max a million or hundreds of thousands, or it's not, depending on what the fine is and what the actual situation was. Most people, most companies, corporations don't pay that much in fines. So the punishment is so low, it only incentivizes these companies like Shukin Bushin to keep going. Because obviously, if they're getting sued this much, obviously the fines and what they're paying, even the 6 million yen, wasn't enough for them to shut down. They were still selling thousands of copies, hundreds of thousands of copies, and still thriving. So that's what I'm saying. So in Korea, Shukin Bushin is far less known through its stories about Korean figures do surface. Korean press, KBS, and K-pop forms have recounted Shukin Bushin's Ji-young from Kata harassment exposed from 2021, and they have reported the Nagano story largely to relay the denials. For example, Korean outlets quoted Nagano's Stardust agency saying Tanaka and Kim are just senior/colleagues and have never dated. And they noted Kim's agency called them just close colleagues. In Korea, audience tend to treat such stories as foreign tabloid rumor, interesting gossip, but requiring skepticism. Yeah, recurring skepticism. So there is no broad Korean public lore around Bushin's reputation. It's essentially a Japanese magazine, those reliability is judged case by case by readers and Korean media who repeat or debunk its claims, which makes sense because Korea is kind of a Japanese rival too in a sense. But even Korea, I believe, has similar tabloids, tabloids that can ruin a artist or actress's life. So conclusion, in Nagano, in the Nagano Tanaka Kim case, the evidence is and contested, thin and contested. All involved deny any illicit romance, and the photographic proof comes from public or ambiguous settings. Observers note inconsistencies, the timing of Kim's departures first, Tanaka's visit, and that even Shukin Bushin later muted its stance in public comments. It conceded the invitation in Nakai's case was wrong. And here it did not insist on the affair. So it did not insist on the affair after denial. Given Bushin's history of both legitimate scoops and occasional fabrication, the report worries caution warrants caution. Without stronger proof, text, travel records, on the record admissions, the so-called love triangle remains an unconfirmed tabloid allegation. So, yeah, the news sources are right here. You guys can even see it, but yeah. So, yeah, the news sources. Let's see. What? Oh, my English. Chronicles.com is one of them. So yeah, I pretty much gathered all the news sources and kind of put it together for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed that weird article. It was very interesting. Yeah, so I believe. Yeah, make sure you like, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I will definitely be doing more stories like this, and definitely be coming back at you with more. And yeah, again, Tanaka, Mei, and Kim, I don't think they're in trouble. I think they're just kind of, you know, they're doing the best. They're doing the best they can for, you know, they're doing the best they can to survive in the industry. All right, guys. And yeah, I'm testing out the transition right now, guys. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I think it does survive. So yeah, I hope you guys like this. Did you guys like what you're hearing? Did you guys like the story? Did you enjoy what you were the B-roll and everything? Again, I'm still getting used to Streamlabs, and I'm doing the very best I can to make this show the best show in entertainment history when it comes to Asian entertainment. All right, so stories like this will keep coming, but you gotta subscribe, guys. Gotta like this video. You gotta subscribe. You gotta hit that bell for notifications. All right, and I am going to be probably talking more about agencies like Shukin Busen, and I'm going to likely be just talking about Shukin Busen and with the scandals. What other agencies like them exist? What other agencies like them exist? I have no idea. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about this. I mean, I don't care personally. I personally do not care. So that's it, guys. I have no other quarrel with Mei or Tanaka or Kim. So if you guys like this, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and we will be back for more news, entertainment, maybe reaction videos. So come back, please. Peace.